Think a little longer. Would you write the name of a dictator, a serial killer, someone responsible for unimaginable suffering? If you hesitated, then you've already entered the same moral territory that the anime Death Note asks us to explore. That's why the series resonates with so many people. It's not really about supernatural powers. It's about how ordinary people respond to extraordinary power. And that's the question psychology has been trying to answer for decades. Almost nobody believes that they're the bad guy. We all tell ourselves a story where our choices make sense. That's what makes Death Note so compelling. The central conflict isn't just about crime or justice. It's about certainty. The belief that my judgment is the correct one. The more convinced we become that our intentions are good, the easier it becomes to overlook the consequences of our actions. Psychologists have found that people often justify harmful behavior when they believe it's serving a greater purpose. The more noble the goal feels, the easier it becomes to excuse increasingly questionable choices. That's the pattern that appears far beyond fiction. There's a famous saying called power corrupts, but psychology suggests something more complicated. Power can remove the restraints. It can reveal parts of ourselves that we never had to confront before. One of the reasons Death Note sparks so many debates is because it presents a thought experiment. If someone believed that they alone could make the world safer, would they eventually stop listening to anyone who challenged them? History also gives us many examples of people becoming increasingly convinced that they are only to solve society's problems. As confidence grows, self-reflection can shrink. The danger isn't simply having power, it's losing the habit of questioning yourself. Ask yourself this, viewer. Ask yourself this, viewer. If everyone around you started praising your decisions, would it become harder to admit you were wrong? Psychologist Carl Jung described something he called the shadow. It's the collection of qualities we'd rather pretend don't exist in us. Anger, jealousy, pride, the desire to control. Ignoring those parts of ourselves doesn't make them disappear. It only makes them harder to recognize. When they influence our decisions, the anime like Death Note resonates because they force us to ask uncomfortable questions about our own values. Not because we'd expect to face the same fictional circumstances, but because we all encounter moments where the principles are tested. The real challenge isn't proving we're good, it's the remaining willing to question ourselves when we're convinced we are right. Maybe that's why Death Note continues to be discussed years after it released. I believe like 20 years now. It isn't asking whether absolute power exists. It's asking how certainty, power, and self-justification can shape a person's decisions. The unsettling part isn't imagining what someone else would do. It's wondering what you would do. How many compromises would you seem reasonable? How many exceptions would feel justified? At what point would you stop questioning yourself? Maybe the most important lesson isn't about finding perfect answers. Maybe it's about never becoming so certain of our own righteousness that we stop asking the difficult questions. So, person watching this video, I will leave you with this final thought. If you found that notebook tomorrow, would you throw it away? Or would you convince yourself, just for a moment, that you could use it better than anyone else? And if you believe the answer is obvious, type down in the comments and tell us how sure you are. If you like this video and you want to see more, like and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one.